Hi guys, Jade here from Nested Knowledge. Today I'm going to walk you through qualitative synthesis. So qualitative synthesis is the interactive visualization of all the data that you've extracted in your nest. You might notice by default is our sunburst diagram, but if you go to our dendrogram view, this hierarchy directly mimics the hierarchy that you created in your nest. And so in the sunburst diagram, it's just a different view, and you've got your most broad concepts on the inner circles, and it gets more specific as you go out. So what you can do is really drill down on the concepts of interest. So if you're interested in what studies reported, let's say the stent retriever catheter as an intervention, and the outcome, neurological outcome. So what I do is go and select these tags, these chunks, and they're added to the selected tags filtered here. So I can see 20 studies are filtered to in the bottom right-hand corner. Some tag statistics, as well as the tag name selected in the drop-down. And what I can do is go in and do a deeper dive on these specific studies that report these concepts. So an abstract is shown with our RoboPico highlighting, our tags, the qualitative data that was collected. These are the two ones that in particular that we selected, so we can easily see those. If a meta-analysis was done, you can see the data for that with the interventions separated out and the data elements here as a summary, as well as the search that it originated from. You can also link out to the full text via the link here if you wanted to take a look at that PDF. And then what I can do is actually go through and take a look at each of these different studies reporting these concepts using these arrows. So this is a different study. Here are the different tags. Here is the search that it originated from, and that sort of thing, as well as being able to select out of that and into the studies here. And when you're selecting different concepts of interest, you want to make sure you have this filter button toggled. It is usually toggled by default, but if you're zooming in and taking a look at different chunks of the sunburst diagram, you have to switch between. So to use the zoom function, you'd select zoom. Let's say you want to go into outcomes, or maybe you want to take a look at angiographic outcomes. But when you actually want to filter to a certain concept, remember to toggle back to filter, ticky 2b/3, let's say, and to take a look at those filtered studies. And to undo a selected tag, you would uncheck that, or you would select clear filters in the top left. To zoom out, you'd go back into the zoom filter, the zoom button, and clear zoom to come straight back out into the sunburst diagram with no filters. Other things you can do is configure insights. And to do that, you go to the bottom left where it says insights, you'd select that, select the plus sign, name the insight, describe the insight, and select the areas of the sunburst diagram that are associated with that insight. That's how you'd create one, so that when that end user is coming in and they want a bit more of a focused view, they can select these specific insights. So this is an example. We've got the parent artery location, a bit of description, and the chunks of the diagram, sunburst diagram, are already selected. You can see 14 studies are associated, and then that end user can go in and take a look at those. Other things you can do on the synthesis page is share the page. So to do that, you go to the top right and select the share icon, and you can share this via a link, a QR code, embed it on a website, or even download a spreadsheet of the filtered studies and its associated tags. Because what I should emphasize is that you do not need an account in order to view the synthesis of a nest. So really easy to share with those different end users. Other things you can do is use filters. We use other kinds of filters within synthesis. So while the sunburst diagram you can filter to specific tags, you might want to add other filters like publication date. So you would navigate to settings in the top right, and you might notice this looks very similar to Study Inspector, and filters work in the same way. So you would add a filter, let's say publication date, you want to see studies that are only after 2015, let's say. Whoops. Add that filter in, 28 studies. So when you come out of this, since a filter has been applied, the only studies within this diagram are now within that filtered range. But if you want to remove that, you can go ahead, remove that filter, and then everything comes back to normal. The last piece is on the main synthesis page. This is where you can also see the key insights configured and view them in context. And it takes you straight to the qualitative synthesis diagram. Great, that's qualitative synthesis. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.